incident that happened in 2019?
I grew up as a normal child. Nikaenda shule kama watoto wengine, kacheza. Yes, and then I passed in my primary education. I went to high school, I passed. Then I was admitted to Egerton University. First year done, but in my second year, second semester, one morning I was unable to walk. I was escorted to kufunga in shoelaces nikashindwa kujiamsha. Sasa kutoka hapo ndio shida ikakuja.
So shida ilikuwa gani? What was the issue?
I had a tumor in my spine. So according to what the doctors were saying, it compressed the nervous system, so I couldn't feel my legs. But with time, treatment here and there, now I'm here where I am.
How long did the treatment take? How was it like?
The treatment took, it was around, I felt sick at around 2019 July. And since 2019 July, 2020, the whole of 2020 and 2021 until August. So by September, it's when I started walking, slowly by slowly.
Well, did they manage to remove the tumor?
No, the tumor, I went for some radiations and chemotherapy. It was the surgery was a bit risky according to whatever the surgeon said. So they used radiation as the other way to deal with the tumor.
I know you're cancer free. Okay. The treatment, and from that morning when you couldn't tie your shoelace, how has it been like for you?
I can say most of it imekuwa mbaya, lakini pia kuna zile tu vitu poa zinakuja with life juu sipo ku concentrate on the negative side all the time. But it's good and bad.
So when did you realize that now you have a disability?
When I was unable to walk at first, I went to a hospital and they misdiagnosed me. So that's the reason that I'm the way I am. Because if I was treated correctly from the word go, I could be walking, possibly. But the neurosurgeon said I had a TB spine. So I took the dosage of TB for around 8 months, but I was worsening. Hali inaendelea kuwa mbaya with time, badala niende nikipona. So I think hiyo ndio iliniharibu miguu kabisa.
I know all situations, it's someone to accept, but then at first it's usually not easy. So how was it like for you?
It was hard, I won't lie. Because at first, there's that shock of what happened. I was walking and today I'm not walking. And then there are the hardships that come with it because you can't move from one place to another the way you used to. You can't do the things you used to do, like playing football. I'm a football fan. I like playing football. You can't do it. And most of the times you are left, like I was more of mtu wa kutoka kutembea. Sasa inafanya like personality yako pia ina change. Unakuwa mtu anakaa tu kwa nyumba most of the time. Ni hard, but with time unaenda tu kuji-accept.
So Dr. Dennis could be one among many who is strong and is able to accept his situation. But what about those who have gotten such trauma and they're not willing to accept their situation? And of course, mental health issues begin at that point. How can one best deal with such traumas whenever it happens, such a big life-changing trauma?
Yes, there is this condition that we call post-traumatic stress disorder that happens when someone undergoes a very serious change in their life, and Dennis needs support so that he doesn't get to that. And when it comes to post-traumatic stress disorder, it can affect your future completely. And for example, the fact that he gives his story openly, it means that he can progress with life, he can be a source of encouragement, etc.
On your mental health, were you at some point depressed? Did you go through some low moments?
I was depressed at some point because...
And how were you able to overcome that?
First of all, I was depressed. And secondly, the way I was able to overcome is because I had my family supported me, my mom, my dad, my brother, and friends. Support system. I had a very good support system. Even during medication, they used to come visit me at the hospital, and they tell me I'll be okay. Yeah, and prayers. I'm a believer.
So Dr. Jane, such a sudden change in life, like the one that happened to Dennis, how does it affect one's mental health, and how do you ensure that your mental state remains intact even after such a trauma?
I'm looking at Dennis as this young man who is going through the identity development stage, finding himself, and then something suddenly comes and shatters his life. But I'm encouraged that he's even ready to talk about himself. So this means that his mental status is working on it just by being ready to share his story, because he'll be a source of strength to many other people who are listening to his story. And by this, it means he has accepted, he's in the process of accepting himself, and he's really like accepting the new status, the new normal, that he is not the same person he used to be. And I'm looking at him like someone who is willing even to pursue his dreams and his purpose in life. He is ready to work very hard and to discover his potential as a student. About his mental health status, if he continues with this kind of spirit, then it will be easy for him, because he will not get depressed, anxious, he will not feel like he's alone, he will not feel like he wants to withdraw from other people, and he will be willing to come out and be mixed with the other people. Yes.
Now the transition, why not go back to
Egerton? I was doing a course that was very practical. So I've told you I was doing agriculture. So in agriculture, we had practicals. And in my current situation, I don't think I can be able to handle that. Secondly, Mount Kenya is not far away from my home. So my parents will check on me once in a while. And thirdly, Mount Kenya, it's a private university. My former school was in a crisis. They used to strike every now and then. So I'll pursue my course here within a very short period, compared to Egerton.
For Dennis's case here, how best can he appreciate the new normal and even the sacrifices that come with it? You know, right now he might not be able to walk like he used to and all that. How best can he appreciate the new change?
He can appreciate by telling himself that yes, it has happened. I've not done anything wrong. It's not because of due of my failures. It is just that it can happen to anyone else. Acceptance. Denial is the one that can cause challenges. It also comes with the self-love. Like, I still love myself, and having faith in God. Like, I know I'm still a child of God, even in my new normal. And even the fact that he can come out and share the story with everyone, it means that, you know, he's ready to accept the situation.
Absolutely. Looking back, how has your life changed after the incident?
My life has changed a lot, because when such a thing happens to you, some friends leave, but others still come. like kwa maisha kitu ngumu kufanyikia, kuna wale watu mlikuwa pamoja lakini venye shida imekupata watapotea. Pia hizo kwenda hospitali hapa na pale ilikuwa a financial burden pia kwa familia. Like unaona kumit hizo needs zenye hospitali inataka, like your parents are straining. And also your mental health is at stake because kuna ile tu utajiuliza tu maswali, mbona hii kitu ilitoka wapi, nini iliendelea? Lakini Mungu tu wako, mambo inaendelea, wewe ukijiaccept mambo inaendelea tu kwa.
Away from school and everything else, what do you enjoy?
I watch football, I play chess, and what else? I also play the PlayStation, PS. Yeah.
Okay.
I also read and movies.
Okay. In terms of, you're a young man, dating is not something that is out of the question. So, did your dating life change?
Yeah. When I was fit, I was in a serious relationship by that time. But when I felt sick, I felt that the person I was dating was no longer interested. I don't know if it's because of the situation or what, but since then I have not dated.
You are watching TV47, the home of untold stories.
Wakati mwingine kama weekend, mimi najiachilia.
Hata ukumbuki history.
Nikifika watu wangu wakinipokea na kupokeleka.
Umeset the mood.
Nimeset the mood, naweza kupokeleka. Nikitumai kwamba mzima popote pale ulipo, nikikukaribisha katika kipindi Mfahamu Kiongozi. Jina langu Elizabeth Mutuku. Katika kipindi Mfahamu Kiongozi tunakupa nafasi kutangamana nao kila siku ya Alhamisi kuanzia saa 1:30 kuendelea siku nyingine. Tutapatana papa hapa umjue kiongozi mwingine.
Jiunge nasi toka hapa hadi ufuoni mwa bahari. Meli yetu itakapotua nanga kwa uhondo ribo ya riwaya hii Mwisho wa Kosa. Monica.
You are watching TV47, the home of untold stories.
Dr. Rehab, what impact can sudden change from loved ones affect Dennis? For example, when his then girlfriend left him because of now his disability.
When a sudden life change like what happened to Dennis happens to somebody, and especially for a young people like him, so many things happen to the person. One of the things that may happen immediately is what we call post-traumatic stress disorder, because this is a trauma, and it has come with such a force and it's something permanent that has happened. So trauma can set in. The other thing that can happen is depression, like when people now start getting away from him, including his girlfriend. He starts now feeling useless and hopeless, and that can lead to that depression, and it can be very serious because at its worst, depression can lead to suicidal ideation and suicidal even tendencies. So those are the major things that can happen if this situation is not addressed for Dennis. Yes.
In terms of the trauma, how long can it last to him, Dennis, the person who it happened to, and the people surrounding him, his loved ones and all that?
This depends on personality. It will vary from person to person, depending on their personality. There's some people who, are able to deal with issues very fast, because sometimes they share, because of their personality. We have people that we call melancholics, there are those that we call cholerics, there are those that, the phlegmatics and so on. Now, those people are different in their way they present themselves. Some easily accept things, others will look at themselves and start maybe having low self-esteem, and that may make it very difficult for them to accept the situation because of their personality. So it will depend on the personality of this young man, Dennis, and any other person who gets into this kind of a traumatic experience. It will also depend on the relationships that they have. Who is there to to encourage them on, to make them understand that it is okay. I always say that it is good for people to know that it is okay not to be okay. And this person needs to understand that it's okay not to be okay, and life can continue even when they are the way they are. But this will take somebody maybe going through counseling, so that they can be able to take this into themselves positively.
Maybe people surrounding him, how can they make the adjustment more easier to the person who has faced the new change?
Maybe one of the things that they could do is expose them, show them that they are not ashamed of him. You don't leave them alone, or you take time also to show them that you appreciate this situation that they are in, and they are okay like that. In other words, you prove to be positive also towards them. Yeah, that can be very helpful. That's, in one word, is called social support.
Dr. Sarah, why is the society quick to take the easy way out? For example, the people who distance themselves from Dennis, say his girlfriend, his friends.
Well, if you look at it, it's not usually easy for a person to accept a change that has occurred, and this is a change that you had not waited for. Maybe when one was befriending, like for example, we take this person who was the girlfriend to Dennis. All through they were doing things together. They were sharing, they were having fun together, and there was no one time maybe they ever became a burden one to another. So, and all of a sudden the fun is cut off, and now this person is dependent. So there is a likelihood that somebody will take off, because that was not their expectation. So we find that the society is having such challenges in that we are not likely to adopt this person very fast with their weaknesses. We only want to look at the positive side of this individual and what we benefit. I think previously I've said we are in a society where there are people who feel it has to be a symbiotic relationship, that you give, I give. You take from me, I also take from you. So in this instance where somebody looks like they are more dependent on another, some people are likely to say this enough of it, and they will take off. And so the persons with disability, we are finding that they are the ones, they are being made more disabled by the society in a way, because people who may have been very close to this person, once this incident takes place, they take off, and this person is left with like, you mean I had only friends for the good time but not for the bad time? So it makes them feel what you have just said. They suffer from low esteem, they suffer rejection, they suffer discriminated, they suffer the discrimination rather. They suffer from all that kind of issues where the society make them feel you are really disabled, and they become a people to be pitied all the time. So every time they are looked as if they are burdened, and they cannot offer anything to the society, or they cannot offer anything to the family, they cannot offer anything to the society. So that makes them even feel worse. that they have found themselves in such a situation which they have never dreamt of or ever imagined that they can at any one time be considered a burden. So that is what we are having somebody like Dennis. Maybe that is what he went through. But I think I'm happy with Dennis. The way I've seen him, he's overcoming it. Yes.
Is it that you're afraid?
No, first of all, some may judge, and na kuna ile feeling ya mtu anakuangalia like anakuhurumia. Mimi sipendi hivyo juu isipokuwa kutembea venye stembei kama mtu wa kawaida, I can do anything. Brain yangu iko sawa, my hands are okay. Yeah, so there's that, and then there is kuna pia yule uoga like mtu atakuja kwa life yako take advantage alafu aende.
And forget the people who are close to him. What about the damage that comes with outright rejection now from the society to someone who has an acquired disability? What kind of damage does it have for a society to outrightly reject someone who's just newly acquired a disability?
As I've just mentioned, when this person has just acquired a disability, there's what they were doing for themselves. Maybe they were able to go to the bathroom without any support. They were able to go to the market without any support. They needed not to be guided. They needed not to be given direction. They would wake up in the morning and do their program without now having to rely on anyone. But now, all of a sudden, something happens. They have always to do a consultation that I want to do these 1, 2, 3 things, and they have to call on the person who is helping them, the aid. They have to ask them, "Are you available for me? I want to do 1, 2, 3 things." So it's not easy to adjust and to come to a level of saying, "Now I'm not what I used to be. I am what I am." And so the society needs to also adjust in a way. In such a way that they can now decide this is what was happening, but this is what is going to happen. And maybe for the case of Dennis, I'm happy that the family took it up very fast, because Dennis was taking a course that was not friendly in terms of being a person with disability. He was doing an agricultural related course. Then the family realized he cannot continue with that same course because now he cannot go to the farm. He cannot do anything to do with the machine. And they were able to change him and to transfer him to a course that is friendly, the Bachelor of Commerce, which is a friendly course for him in the state he's in. So I'm happy that the family took it up positively. And I would wish that even the society generally, we can adjust that fast, such that we realize this was happening and now a disability has hit or has knocked in and we have to adjust. And that will happen even in places where this person may be working, if it is for a working person. If it's a family, they also change. For example, they can change the bathroom status, they can change the lamps in the house, they can put some things that will be easy for a person to access every other room in the house or any other place in the office or workplace. So I think the society is the one to change in terms of accommodating persons who have acquired disability. Yes.
Going forward, where do you see yourself, or where do you see yourself at in 5 years?
In 5 years, I'll be done with my degree, hopefully, and maybe perhaps I may advance to masters. Yeah.
Any advice for someone who probably has gone through the same incident as you? Because they say disability, anyone is a candidate for disability, yeah? And a lot of people are not aware about that, until it happens to them. So what advice do you have for anyone out there who's listening and watching?
First of all, kitu ya kwanza, Mungu wako juu I've seen God in my life, because the way I was in 2019, it's not the way I am in 2023. So despite the religion, kama ni believer, Mungu atakuonekania. Secondly, ninasema like mtu ajiaccept. Kama ni kitu wezi change, if you cannot change something, just accept it. And then the last thing is always be optimistic about life. Always see the positive side. As much as it will happen and mbaya, focus on the good side, the bright side of life. Yeah.
Okay, quite the inspiring story. Thank you so much for making time.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate it. Well, that's it from us this week. Thank you so much for making time. I've been your host, Zainab Mohammed. Until next time, goodbye.
We value your feedback. If you would like to send questions, comments, suggestions, or complaints for any of our programs, call us on telephone number 0740-047-047 or email us at info@capemedia.co.ke. You can also write to us at PO Box 599 00606, Sarit Center, Nairobi. Or you can reach us on any of our social media platforms at TV47 Kenya across all platforms. You can also drop your complaint or feedback at our offices, House number 3, Western Park Court, Muthaiga North, Nairobi.